Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Part podcast. This is your host, Steve Ramona, and I'm excited because we're going to talk serving and disabilities, serving and helping, serving and supporting, which is what this show is all about. But these two people really live it through their heart, and that's what I want you to learn, listen, and take in. Marianne and Leon, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Adios, aloha, and hola from San Carlos, Mexico.
So we talked about, we talked in the green room about disabilities. What are some of your disabilities?
Well, growing up, I incurred little middle ear infections, which gave me a little bit of a hearing loss, and kind of gave me the idea that my career path was that I wanted to go to school and work with the deaf. So I went to Central Michigan University, graduated with a degree in audiology and psychology minor, and started taking sign language classes. And I became a case manager with mentally ill deaf adults for about 4 years. So that's kind of how my path started. And I went into other careers and medical sales. And I got injured myself. I was sitting in a hotel lobby and accidentally the manager was texting and drove her SUV through the wall behind me. So I suffered from neck, back, broken ankle, a hearing loss, and a vertigo, which is spinning, and tinnitus, ringing in the ears, which millions of people suffer around the world, especially the military. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. And so I'm a guest speaker on the World of Ability with Kurt Roskoff and Emily Bellmeyer and Sue Roskoff. I met them through the Happy Neighborhood Project as I was a co-host in Hawaii, and I became the sign language interpreter, an H&P ability, and now I'm on the World of Ability as a guest speaker, author, and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness series. And I met Leon McLaughlin through my journey over in Hawaii.
How did your abilities to disabilities to abilities help you now to serve people?
I'm sorry, they broke up.
How did your disabilities to abilities help you now to serve people, your experience with that?
Well, I'm able to talk about it. If you're working with clients who have it, and then now later in life, or anyone can acquire a disability, you know what it's like, the empathy, the compassion, and just being of service and talking about it so that we are aware that we have these, challenges to overcome and we can get through it together. It's not a disability, it's a world of ability. And what a world of ability we can do. You'd be surprised with a lot of persons with disabilities are out there working full-time. They're podcasters. I interpreted sign language for a deaf man for over a decade. He went to California, became a veterinary assistant, and we have just people with Special Olympics. So there's lots to overcome and challenges, if it's physical or limited, hearing, vision impairment. So, and it's just great to share the good news with everybody.
Or both of you, and you can both answer at different times. What is the best way a listener can support and serve people with hearing loss?
Well, I'm out there kind of advocating, it's people read lips, speak slower. You may have to repeat, have patience. People with a hearing loss tend to be isolated more. And as people becoming older and dementia and depression can come through and the hearing loss comes through. It's not about speaking louder or yelling at them, but making sure that they get doctor's visits to find out where they're at, because just like glasses, okay, your eyesight changes. It can start at one glass size to another glass size. Same thing with your hearing. Your hearing will fluctuate. throughout your lifetime, and you have to adjust hearing aids just as well. And you are talking about some new exciting products that are be coming out. So people have to realize you don't wear other people's glasses, do you? No. Everyone has their own. So same thing with a hearing loss. It could be one ear to the left, one side of the ear to the other ear. It could be ringing in the ears. So just because I look okay doesn't know, you don't know what's going inside of my brain. And one morning I could wake up good, and guess what? The weather has changed. I'm in the mountains, driving in the mountains. It's air pressure, the ringing in the ears, eating certain kinds of foods, such as salt, 5 different things of nicotine, caffeine, sodium, salt, all can trigger wine, red wine, can trigger tinnitus, ringing in the ears. So I could have ate something the night before, a can of condensed chicken noodle soup in a can, and I'm up buzzing the next day and ringing. And so just because I look normal, you don't know what's really kind of going on in my auditory and visual processing there. So it's good information to know and share that with people, and to find out how we're all feeling on that day-to-day basis. So that's all good information to know that.
That's great. How about you, Leon?
Yeah, I think she's right. I think through sign language, I know I've promoted shows at the Paramount Theater, did marketing at the Paramount and Repertory Theater, and we started bringing in folks to do sign languages so people with hearing loss could actually see a play or a musical, along with the infrared hearing devices that they would pass out. And that's becoming more and more popular now, and bringing those people out that have hearing problems with doing signage. So I think people to learn that is a big help.
Great input for both of you, because I know there'll be people that have friends or family that have hearing loss or completely deaf, and they need to, if they can figure out a way to connect with them better. I have a father-in-law that has a cochlear, so I know all about this. I deal with it every time I see him, and it's hard. What's some of your, start with you, Leon. What's some of your biggest disappointments in business, and how'd you overcome it?
Some of my biggest disappointments in business is because we bring water to children around the world. And so our goal is to make sure no child um, don't have clean, fresh drinking water. And so we know it's doable for every child to have clean, fresh drinking water. But when you got over 2 million children dying a year for lack of clean drinking water, that's a big disappointment to me and our organization. So our Disney fantasy is to have every child to have clean,
Yeah.
fresh drinking water. That's our goal. Right now, we're in 40 different countries providing clean, fresh drinking water to children around the world, but we know that we can do it. So the biggest disappointment is to see these kids dying because of lack of clean, fresh drinking water. So that's a huge disappointment. So I'm fighting every day to make sure children have clean, fresh drinking water, because you never know, that child that could get that water could end up being the president of the United States or a country that they live in, a doctor. So to say, okay, a child's life is basically precious. So you never know who you're saving.
I love that, Leon. My church here, I'm in Northern California. We've built 10,000 wells over the last 10,000 years all over the world. We just finished 5 last month. So I love your mission. It's amazing how many people are dying just because of water. How about you, Marianne? What's your biggest disappointment in business?
Well, just slowly but surely, we're just I'm acquiring the grant money, and you know, I would like to get it out more than I can, and so but little by little, we're meeting more people to make that happen. And you know, during the pandemic, it was a great opportunity to be part of Happy Neighborhood Projects, which led us to meet more business people, which was such a opportunity to network, and especially with the World of Ability and Kurt Roscoff bringing us on Saturdays now. So it's the starting and getting the startup and getting the funding, and now I can actually show the vision and mission, because people probably didn't understand the concept when I was talking about it. And now you can actually see the products, the Acts of Kindness series books on the actsofkindnessseries.com website. No, it's actsofkindnessseries.com. And you can see the books, the vision and the missions of the sign language characters to bring the books into animation movies with sign language characters, and soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and the Perfect Wave. And I have 10 app games too that I just got approved. So Apple has some challenges too, so I have to overcome them and redo some of that stuff. But it's been exciting because the creativity is there, and I know it's going to benefit the world. And partnering with Leon has been amazing since I met him in Honolulu. And we'll be creating a sequel book for climate change featuring Waterflow, a whale for the love of water. So it's all flowing and going. So, and it's great support to have it all from the Happy Neighborhood Projects, and get feedback and critique to take it with a grain of salt to make those improvements, changes in the books. It just seems like it's never ending for me, it feels like. But it's good, because I know it's going to be just better next year. And it's going to be better, and the word of mouth will get out there, and we'll have our audience there. You know, we have 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss again. Millions of mom and dad coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. And I had the opportunity to be up at Triple Army Medical Hospital, you know, pitching you know, my products or ideas and concepts to get a grant. And once they read the product, read the books, you know, there's tears of joy. People love it now. So that's good. And just, you know, be able to express it. So, you know, people, you know, she's the crazy puppet lady, or this, you hear these kind of words, or, you know, a little bit of challenges, but you just got to keep your mouth, you know, keep your head solid and go, you know what, I'm here to serve the world, and I have a population, and this is my talent. This is my gift.
Thank you. That's great. Leon, she mentioned partnerships. How important are partnerships in serving?
I think partnerships is very important. First of all, working together works. It's like when we do water projects with World Vision, the Gates Foundation, the Peace Corps. If we didn't have that partnership with boots on the ground, with those people there, a lot of times you couldn't even get water units through customs if you're in certain countries. A lot of times you wouldn't get that duty-free status if you didn't have partners that could be able to do that. We just did a partnership just 3 days ago where we put water in Gambia, and we worked with the water resource department. So when we sent the water units in there, and a lot of times, you know, you get jacked. We've got hijacked with water units in Peru and parts of Africa, South America, and it's, you know, really a pain getting those units to the people after getting hijacked. So to have the partnerships to make sure that that don't happen, or if somebody can make a phone call to release units. I remember I got called at 3 in the morning in South Africa where we were sending water units, and they were like, well, they got the water units hostage in Johannesburg. And I was like, hostage? And it's 3 in the morning. I said, I never heard of a water unit being a hostage. I've heard of people being a hostage, but not a water unit. And they say, well, they're saying you're giving them away for free, and they cost more than what you're saying they cost, and they want some money. So we had to actually call the king of Swaziland. Lucky we had the doctor who delivered the king, called the doctor to say, hey, Dr. Hines, they got our water units in Johannesburg. They won't release them. He delivered the king. He calls the king up. The kings make a phone call. They release the units. So partnerships is very important. And that's why I say working together works. And we love partnerships. Just like I was just saying, we just did some water units in Gambia, West Africa. We did it with the water resource departments. The water units was immediately delivered, went through customs. They send you a text, which is unbelievable, saying they just left customs, they've been released, and the water resource department got the water units. How cool is that? So
That's a
I
fair,
think partnerships is amazing. And
that's a
this
great
partnership we
story.
have
Yeah.
with Mariana is a great one because she's developed the Waterflow, the whale, and we believe in flow for the love of water. She created this whale for us, and we're going to be promoting that together. So partnerships is very important to me and our organization, the Clean Water Foundation.
Thank you, Leon. That's well said. That's a great story of showing what partnerships can do. And it's not competition, it's collaboration. We should think that way all the time. Marianne, you wrote a book. Why did you write that book?
I'm sorry, I'm in Mexico. What was that question?
You wrote a book. Why did you write it?
Well, I wrote my first book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, because I was living on a sailboat in Hawaii as a sign language interpreter with a deaf man. And all this garbage was circulating around the sailboat, and I wanted to know why it was coming and where it was coming. And it was coming from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And through guided meditation, as I was being a service at the Unity Church of Hawaii as a sign language interpreter, the universe told me, you're going to write a series of children's sign language books with puppets. And I laughed. And lo and behold, I walked down to the Ala Moana Mall and I saw a tree of folk man as puppets. There was a chicken and I could put my hands in it and I could sign with it. And I just started laughing. And so Suzanne Sims, my co-writer at the Unity Church of Hawaii, and Lucy Lynch was the singer there. And the creativity just started from there, and our passion for ocean cleanup. So the book is called Underwater Acts of Kindness, featuring Noah, the hard of hearing whale, which parallels me. Again, I was in an auto accident, and Noah is in a boating accident and loses his hearing and struggles with what kind of world is he going to be. And he's going to be a new father. And he's recruited by a sea turtle called the General of the New Earth Army to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which lots of military moms and dads are recruited to be of service. And so that's how the story goes. And so it led to the next book for Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, which is October's anti-bullying month. Again, featuring Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, which is another form of me, interpreting for my deaf friend Scott, and he's Harry, the hard of hearing rabbit, because we've been bullied out in public, different places, and it happens with persons with disabilities. And so we wanted to make that message and to be of service, to show, our deaf schools that we can make these animation movies just like Nemo, just like Dora the Explorer, and no one has done that. And now I've created 10 app games to go with online chapters of the books to learn the fingerspelling alphabet and numbers to go with it. So then, the big vision is to be the next J.K. Rowling, the next Dora the Explorer, to retell like Hello Kitty, and no one has done that in sign language characters. And so I met Leon again over in Honolulu, Hawaii. We shared the books with him. He loved them. We've been in contact. He was over, actually, it was two years ago. You were in the Modern. We were on Happy Neighborhood Projects there. Again, networking, meeting people. And Leon has been a great partner with that. And Suzanne Sims, my co-writer, we just recently applied for 2 grants from the Austin Foundation to write the sequel book for climate change. Featuring Waterflow the whale. So what I found out with Awesome Foundation is there's one to receive the grant, and there's also with persons with disabilities. So we have applied for those 2 grants for $1,000 each. We're waiting for approval so that we can start writing. So it's great and exciting to have these passionate people with these specific topics that you know, want to work with us and want to continue this. And we have amazing singer-songwriter Lucy. When you hear her music, her voice, it's just going to be powerful. So you know, we're in the working process, but again, I can't wait to see them on the big screen someday in the future, and hopefully Leon connect with us into Netflix, and you go, oh my gosh, look at this amazing Acts of Kindness series by Marianne and Leon and Leon McLaughlin, Clean Water Foundation.
Thank you very much. And we're running out of time here. I want to thank both of you for being on the show, and thank you. God bless for what you're doing with Water, Leon, and Marianne with, you know, hearing impaired people, disabilities to abilities. It's true servant heart. It's a true servant leader. And that's why I wanted you on the show. And you guys really showed that. And audience, please watch this show. Take a peek. I'll have their information in the show notes. You can reach out to them if you have any questions or want to help any way possible. But that's the end of the show. Thank you guys again.
Thank you.
Mahalo. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Gracias.